we begin today with Wonder Woman. Yes! When I was a kid, back in the 70s, there was Superman, there was Batman, there was Spider-Man, there were lots and lots and lots of male superheroes. And one woman, just one, and she was spectacular. Wonder Woman, brought to life by the real-life Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter. She has always been the woman who, for me, came to mind when you thought of a kick woman, right? You know, right? Like, that's who you thought of, because we didn't actually have that many examples, sadly. There was the Bionic Woman, but she wasn't like a superhero. She had bionics in her. And then there was Lynda Carter, and she's here. But first, let's see where it all began. Lynda Carter is best known as this iconic Amazonian warrior.
Party's over, boys.
Carter's Wonder Woman hit the small screen in 1975. For 3 seasons, she fought villains while armed with the coolest accessories and a signature spin. The actress appeared in the cult film Super Troopers. She's even played the U.S. president in TV's Supergirl. Now she's back in Super Troopers 2.
So you fellas want to crack at your old jobs?
Please help me welcome Lynda Carter! Here.
I'm such a fan.
Oh my, that means a lot to me.
I am such a fan.
Truly, because it's sad, but there really weren't that many women to look up to on television back in the 70s.
I know.
And then you came along. And it was like the lasso of truth, and instead of the damsels in distress, we had the dudes in distress. And you were the one who came through and saved them. What did that role mean to you?
Well, you know, I think that I've really tried to figure out what it was about that particular character that it has been so enduring. And I think with this MeToo movement, I finally realized that she was able to fight back.
Yep.
She was able to protect herself. She was able to protect those women around her. And if someone was, you know, no one could take advantage of her. Mm-hmm. And there's a piece of that, right? These women are nodding. And I finally really understood that you could be beautiful. I knew that. You could be beautiful and strong and have a mind and an intellect and all that. And you didn't have to cover yourselves up in order to be accepted. And you just were who you were. She wasn't predatory. She wasn't trying to be sexy.
She was like a regular woman with superpowers.
Yes, but she just is. She was a beautiful woman, and she just didn't think much of her costume, or that was what her body looked like. Mm-hmm. And so get over it.
We've been talking about this, right? We've been talking about this on the show, about does a woman, in order to be taken seriously, have to choose between being sexy and being strong, being sexy and being smart? And I think that character is an answer in and of itself, which is no. You don't have to choose. You can be, you know, you're not going to, go in a court of law wearing a bikini. But when you're Wonder Woman, or when you want to show like a little whatever, you want to wear a little leather on the job, you can do it, and you can still be taken seriously.
Yes.
Why can't we?
Well, we can. And I would actually love to challenge all men to just wear high heels for a day and and a bra.
And in some of our cases,
a double D bra. And try to play golf or tennis.
And in some of our cases, the double Spanx, which is also limiting in its...
but my point is that they criticize us going and coming. They criticize us if we're not looking as good, and that is really what bothers me. Mm-hmm. Is that in political life or whatever, they're criticizing pantsuits, they're criticizing fat legs, oh, well, she doesn't look so good, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the way it is, folks. You know, and when we're 22 or we're 32, and then we're 42 and 52 and 62 and on and on. And this is the way we look. Okay, if they're going to criticize in public any woman, then we will criticize your bald head, your hair, nose, your ear, your hair, nose, your ear hair, your fair belly.
Fair's fair. You know, can I tell you, Jen Palmieri, who is Hillary Clinton's communications director, was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and she did quote Hillary as having a great line. I had to give it to Hillary on this one, which was, people would say, oh, she needs to work on her laugh, and she needs to work on her voice, and she needs to work on her dress. And Hillary said to Jen Palmieri, who was relaying some of these concerns to her, you tell them, thanks so much, but what Hillary could really use is for you to point to a man on the national stage, or a woman on the national stage, who's doing it exactly right.
Right.
Just point that person out to me, because women have to go through all these hoops that others don't always. I want to ask you.
But it's not only that. It's that. What are you talking about? It is just like, get over this. What do you? It's not even name this or name that. It's like you are missing the point. We are whole women. We are total women. We have a voice. We have causes. We are young, old. We are thin, fat. We are short. We are tall. We are gingers. We are blondes. We are salt and peppers. We are everything. We wear coverings. We don't. We are whatever we are.
And
we're sexy.
And we don't answer to you, right? Like you judges, we don't answer to you.
We don't.
We answer to ourselves.
However, we do. I do want to say that there are many men that are champions of women, and like my men in my life, they are champions of me, my son, my husband, and kudos to them. So
the evolved men are our partners in our empowerment. Do you mentioned the Me Too movement, and I know that you had alluded recently to. I mean, I just can't imagine that you grew up as Wonder Woman and didn't have a Me Too experience. It's like you grew up at a time when men were taking advantage. This is for you. This is for you. I knew you were coming.
I love it.
And I just wonder, you know, how that affected you and how young you were when it happened to you and how it's changed you.
I will say that I give the Me Too to you. I give the Me Too to the women that started it. Women of my age, we have tried and we have taken our causes to a certain point. Women of my generation can support you, can support your cause, but it belongs to you. And Megyn Kelly, it belongs to you. It happened to you on a national stage where you were bullied and you were vilified and you were raked through the coals and on a national stage. And somehow made to feel responsible or ashamed of questions that you very rightly asked someone on a national stage. And courageously. And that's a Me Too movement. That took courage, and that, as much as anything, started the conversation. That, as much as anything, started the Me Too movement. So I applaud you for that. And anyone that takes you down for that, I think you are an amazing person, and I think that you belong.
Let me tell you, I could have used the lasso of truth up on that debate stage that day. I really could have used the lasso of truth while out there dealing with those presidential candidates.
Well, see, I was cautioned by my husband, honey, don't get into presidential politics. Don't get into politics if you can avoid it. And I said, just kind of not it's hard for me.
All right,
but I want to thank you for that, because you spoke for every woman, and you were right. You were absolutely right.
Thank
and
you.
I just think that you kicked ass.
That means a lot coming from you. I have much more I want to discuss with you. I know. Is it true? Now, I read an article with you in the Daily Beast where you talked about, did somebody drill a hole in your dressing room to get a behind-the-scenes peek at Lynda Carter?
Yes, they did. They, I was in my first year of filming Wonder Woman, and I was called to the, like the head of Warner Brothers office, and they said, we need you. I thought, am I in trouble? What happened? And they pulled me in, and this is really something to say about those men and those people who have voices and who did protect me. They said, we found out, someone reported that the cameraman was going behind they had these box dressing rooms. They built these dressing rooms and they would move them around whatever soundstage you were on. And they were, anyway, so he was going behind my dressing room, and someone was wondering what he was doing. And he had drilled a hole. He had to go into my dressing room and drill it from the inside to the outside, and then from the outside to the inside. So it was, you know, it was predatory. And you can call it a peeping Tom, which sounds, you know, like...
No, honestly, I think about the Erin Andrews case where the guy drilled the hole in the peephole of the hotel rooms in which she was staying, the sportscaster. And that man's now in prison.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was like, okay, you know, this is one of the things. All right, listen, we have so much more we want to talk to Lynda Carter about.
Well, he was drummed out of the business.
Well, good, as he should have been. He's lucky he's not in jail. More with Lynda right after the break. And we're back now with the original Wonder Woman, Lynda Carter. Can I ask you whether you have any interest in appearing in the new Wonder Woman films? They're doing a sequel now with Gal.
Yes, Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, and we're soul sisters.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I just
You
love
look as
Gal.
young as you did when you played the role originally. So is there any talk of that? Might we see a Lynda Carter cameo or?
Well, you know, that is up to Gal. I mean, that is up to Patty Jenkins. I've been talking to her about it, and you know, she's given me some hints about it, and I guess Warner Brothers, it's up to Warner Brothers if they want to spend the money. You can write letters and tell them.
That's right, we're on it. But you've been doing a lot. I mean, you're singing, you're acting, you're in Super Troopers 2.
Yes.
Right? Super Troopers 2, and singing with your daughter right now?
Yes, I am. I'll be at Jazz at Lincoln Center this weekend.
She was a singer before she was an actress.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Wait a minute, I want to get the title right. Red Rockin' Blues is your new album.
Is my
And I love it. Is it true that your daughter is actually a lawyer?
Yes.
Who sings on the side?
Yes.
That's a rare combination of the right brain, left brain.
Absolutely. I actually asked her just a few years ago to ask her, we're at the Kennedy Center, and I said, would you like to do a duet with me? And she's in law school, and she said, sure. And I hadn't realized she had never picked up a microphone. And she's just gifted, and she's working on her own projects now, but she's practicing law at a big law firm in Washington, D.C., Gibson Dunn. And
that's a big one, and a good one.
It's a big one, yeah.
You know, we were talking during the break about our daughters. I have a 7-year-old daughter. She just turned 7. And you have two kids, a boy and a girl, right?
A boy and a girl. And he plays guitar and is also a lawyer.
And by the way, she's managed to get not 1, but 2 costumes of the original Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Because she has 2 kids, right? So they're eventually going to wind up with that, I guess. But on the subject of our daughters.
Yes.
That, you mentioned my role in the MeToo movement.
Yes.
She is one of the reasons why I did what I did and why I am the way I am. You know, I hope that there's a better road forward for her than there's been for me and for you.
Yes.
And I want to ask you without putting you on the spot.
Oh, she wants to put me on the spot.
Well, just a little bit. Because I know that you said you were somebody's target.
Yes, I was.
Somebody famous whose name you have not yet revealed.
Correct.
But what happened to you, to the extent you want to share it or you are comfortable sharing?
Well, I'm not comfortable sharing. I did an article for the Daily Beast, and I pretty much laid it out there. And he's famous, and he's being prosecuted now. And it's in the newspapers now. And I pretty much laid it out. There's nothing legally I can do, so I chose not to add my voice. And the reason is The reason is there's nothing I can add. And the women's voices that are out there now, I don't want to be one of those people, me too, me too. You know, it's not about me. It's about the women that it's happening to today.
As justice is being served in that case.
Yes, justice is being served, but it's about, we need to teach our daughters and teach our young men what is appropriate and not appropriate. And I want to be the support system for women out there now, through my experience and speaking somewhat about it. Yes, we didn't have anyone to tell. We could not tell anyone. We could tell each other, but there was no one to tell. Who are you going to tell?
Who's going to do anything about it?
Who's going to do anything about it? Whether you're in, you know, you're going to get fired, you're going to get, oh, she's trouble, you're going to get
she asked for
at,
it.
she asked for it. Well, what did you do? You must have done something. You must have worn something. You must have done something. And then there's this piece of it where you feel that ashamed in some way.
100%.
Where you feel like, well, what did I say or do to bring this on myself? See, these women are shaking their heads, yes.
That mentality is just now starting to change, just now.
And as much as we say it wasn't my fault, you think, well, what did I do?
But you don't realize that the entire society has been set up to make you ask that question of yourself.
Yes.
We're just now starting to reject that, to get that imprint
Yes.
is wrong and was set up by people who didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yes.
And didn't know thing one about Me Too.
Was your husband surprised that so many women came forward?
Yes and no. I mean, we've been living in this world in which every woman I know is like, yeah, we just have to deal with it. And I think he was surprised, like I was, that at the dawn of the realization that maybe not. And I really think change is happening. But I have to say to you, Lynda, you were somebody who, whether you talked about Me Too at the time or not, gave a little girl in upstate New York just hope that there was this strong, empowered version of a woman out there who could kick ass and take no prisoners and still rock that outfit. And I am no small part in sitting here today because of you. So I thank you. Thank you for being here. Good luck with the album.
Thank you. Super Troopers.
And with Super Troopers, too. We're looking forward to seeing it.
Go see Super Troopers 2. It's out this weekend, and it's hysterically funny. These are brilliant boobs.
It's a theme.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.